Iron Maiden tickets not just every morning at 8:35 this week, but also with Doug and Scarpetti in the afternoon.
Yeah, buddy George down at Quonset Point just picked up a pair, qualifies for the VIP treatment. Get all the details at 94HJY.com.
Got Gary Hoey live in the studio. You're finally hooked up, wired up.
Yeah, and back from Europe. You had a huge tour in
You were
Europe.
busy in Europe, right? For about a month or so?
We were out there for about a month with Beth Hart. She was amazing.
Cool.
And had an incredible tour, man.
Yeah,
Europe.
you were posting stuff because I, of course, stalk you on the internet, and Facebook specifically. But it was really cool. You were at some hotel or something in Germany, and you were doing an acoustic version. It was on 4th of July, I believe it was. And, man, the acoustics in that place were just amazing. So some very cool stuff that you had posted from Europe. And
Yeah.
now, are you big in Europe?
You know, well, it's funny because we've been actually trying to get over there for a long time. Like 20 years ago or something, I went over and did some shows, but it's been a long time coming. And Mascot Records, the people who put out my latest record, they helped us to get over. You know, it's really about having distribution over there. So now that we have a company in the Netherlands promoting us, we're gonna go back in March for a bunch of festivals, and
Cool.
it was great, man. I really enjoyed playing over there. But
And you're
it's good to be back home.
And you're busy at home, too. You're going to be hanging with Daryl Hall, tomorrow or tonight?
Tomorrow night. We're at Daryl's house, which is in Pawling, New York.
Yeah.
And there's still a few tickets left for that. And Friday night, Twin Rivers Casino.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Last time you played live here was Christmas time at Lupo's. We had such a great show. That was fun.
We had a big Christmas bash with you guys, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that, man.
Cool. All right, well, it is summertime, so... And
I'm sorry, by the way, I ate all the cookies in your dressing room.
It was great. It was great to see you guys out of this place.
Yeah, all right, get out of the studio once in a while.
They actually do let us out
It
once
was
in a
fun.
while. Yeah.
Now, you did the soundtrack for those amazing surf movies, the Endless Summer movies.
Yes.
So let's get in the summertime mood here, if we can.
Let's do it. How about some Pipeline?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's rock it out. Here we go.
Gary Hoey live here at HJY.
94 HJY.
Man, yeah, we talked about it because you've been touring for years and years, and you said Europe almost kind of revitalized you doing live shows.
Yeah.
The Twin Rivers show is free now. You connect with your fans in a lot of different ways. Your website is outstanding.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Even guitar lessons there as well. I was kind of flipping through there.
Yeah,
some new stuff.
Yeah, I like having guitar tips on there for guitar players. I show them sort of some exercises, blues riffs, things that I do, and I'm recording a bunch of new video lessons now at my house. I set up kind of an area to do that. But it's great with social media, with the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's a different time now, and you have to sort of just keep giving the fans content that they can enjoy
So you
and
have to
communicate.
disconnect all the video cameras from the bedroom now, and you got to bring them into the studio, right? And then what a pain, you
Right,
know?
there's no more cameras and mirrors in the bedroom anymore. Although that could boost your career now. It seems like if a sex tape gets
sure,
your career
That could be your only career.
You could
Look
be
at
the Kardashians, right?
Well, them and other people, but no, I'm trying to keep it clean, man. For now.
Well, I was looking. I mean, before you went solo, what was the name of your? Wasn't it Heavy Bones?
Heavy Bones was the band that I was in the early '90s.
Does
We
that
signed with Warner Brothers Records.
Does that have anything to do with any anatomy of the leader of that band or anything?
The Heavy Bones? No, man. I don't know where we came up with that crazy name, but we made one record, and then Nirvana came out, and the whole grunge thing hit, and we just we broke up, and we had made a record. We spent, I swear, Warner spent like $1 million on us, $1 million,
Really?
literally.
Wow.
And about 500,000 making the record, and then it just didn't happen. And then I did Hocus Pocus and started my solo career right after that, and the whole grunge thing just sort of killed any bands that sounded sort of like 80s, or if you had a melodic rock sound, we were kind of done. Pretty much.
Now with Hocus Pocus, I mean, we played it on HJY, and it actually became like a huge, huge hit.
Yes, it did, and it was crazy because for me, I just got done making this record for $500,000 that flopped, and then I went to the record company and I said, "Just give me $15,000, and I'll go record."
You made it on $15,000.
$15,000. I made that album for. I had no money, and I just went and recorded it, and we put out Hocus Pocus, and next thing you know, we had a top 5 hit.
Now I don't know.
So weird.
I don't know what key you're in. If you could. Are you in the key of Hocus Pocus right now?
I'm not tuned for it right this second. I mean, I can play you the riff if you want, but I'm not tuned to play the
let's
track.
go ahead. We're going to do that in about 10 minutes or so.
Okay, cool. We should definitely.
He's in the key of Hocus, but not in the key of Pocus right now.
he's
He's
in
both.
It's very technical. Focus by focus. I need focus.
What key are you in? What can you crank out right now?
What I can crank out right now. Let's see what I can crank out now. Let's see here. Hold on. I'm checking my email. That's not a good idea.
By the way, if you're following Gary Hoey on social media, which we highly advise, the last name is spelled Hoey.
If you go on Twitter and you don't do it right, you know.
You never know who you come up with. How about a song from Utopia?
Sure.
We'll do the title track for that?
All right, let's do it.
Here we go. Let's crank it up. beautifully.
Toby, it's Gary Hoey live in the studio at HJY. By the way, for you people who are tuning in,
We love you all. You ready to rock?
for you people who are usually tuning in at this time to hear Jim Shorts on sports, he is, he's firmly on the couch
Hey,
here at
Jim.
HJY, and Jim Shorts' couch is presented by Majestic Honda. We had to get that sponsorship.
You got Daryl's house that you're going to be at, right? And you got Jim
Tomorrow
Short's
night.
couch.
Yes.
Yes,
So
and couch in the house.
So you're playing at Twin River
Friday
coming up
night.
on Friday night. It's
Friday
a
night,
free
Lighthouse
show.
Bar, free admission, right?
What time are you going to crank it up?
The show starts. It actually starts, I think, about 9:30. There is
Okay.
an opening band, really good blues band, and then we go on after that. So people come down early, have a drink, get some seats, and
Excellent.
it's kind of first come, first serve. I
Now,
think.
coming up, we're going to have the song that made Gary Hoey famous, and also, I guess, a story about you and possible hookup with Ozzy Osbourne. So we'll get that coming up here at HJY.
From the Route 6 Automall Kia of Swansea Studios on 94 HJY.
Whole version of this song
It
came
was like
out.
71,
It was
maybe?
sometime in the early
Yeah.
or to mid 70s is when the original one came out, man.
All right, well, here it is. It's Hocus Pocus. Gary Hoey at your home of rock and roll, 94 HJY.
Woo! Here we go.
Gary Hoey,
you should have seen that.
live in the studio with me.
Playing the guitar against, rubbing up against the cheap equipment we have in the studio here.
Make sure you go to 94 HJY Facebook page. We've been streaming some stuff live, so you can catch Gary Hoey visually as well, and catch him live coming up Friday.
I recorded that song when I was much younger.
I know, it takes a lot out of it. Now, you end up playing that song probably every night that you're playing, and I've noticed that you add different stuff in that break with the lead guitar. You try to change it up most every time, a little bit?
Well, you know what? We always change it up a little bit here and there, but I'm sort of a believer in let people hear,
What
like
they're
you get used to the
yeah.
records, so there's certain licks I always do because I know people want to hear it. This is the ones that came out right. So, but yeah, Twin Rivers will be playing it tomorrow. Friday night for sure, and all the old hits. We'll be playing a lot of the new album, Dust and Bones.
Cool.
So it'll be great. It's gonna be great.
All right, well, if you want to change keys and get into whatever we want to crank out here next at HJY, or maybe another Summertime Classic.
Awesome.
But I'd read that you had auditioned to be Ozzy's guitarist at one point. I guess after Randy Rhoads died. But now, were you in the room with Ozzy?
Yes, I did. I got to audition with Ozzy.
How coherent was he?
Back in the day.
He's a guy
And you're like, what?
He flew me to California, and it was for me it was an incredible experience because I was a big fan of Ozzy.
Sure.
I was a huge fan of Black Sabbath. They were probably my early big influence, and so to go there and play with Ozzy was truly an honor. It was amazing, and even though I didn't get the gig, he did suggest that I move to California and go out there and pursue my career, and he was right because I found a manager, and I went out there and I chased my dream, and having Ozzy not hiring me still gave me this sense of I guess I came that close, right? I had a shot, so that meant a lot.
Well, it's cool. I mean, you've played with a lot of legendary guitarists like Brian May and Joe Satriani, Jeff Beck even as well.
Yes. In 2010, we toured together. It was incredible.
That just must have been amazing to play with those guys. Huh?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you stay in this business long enough, you get to play with your heroes.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you just keep that dream alive, and keep. I mean, I've played with so many of my favorite guitar players. I pinch myself sometimes.
And end up stealing some of your licks and then putting it on a record.
Right, they steal my stuff and they go make all the money, and I go struggle to put my kids through college. It's crazy. I'm just kidding.
All right. So Gary Hoey live in studio here at HJY Friday night. Going to be at Twin River, baby.
Lighthouse Bar, free admission.
Yeah,
Like you said earlier, Gary, first come, first served, because there's a limited space there.
Yes.
And you just need to get there early and start drinking.
Come down early, have a drink, relax, and hopefully don't lose all your money in the slot machine, like me.
All right.
Here we go. How about some Lowrider?
Let's do it, man.
For summertime. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's kick it up.
It's Gary Hoey live in studio at 94 HJY.
194 HJY with Gary Hoey live in the studio.
And you can see him live Friday night, Lighthouse Bar.
Twin River.
Twin Rivers,
Nice to
come
hang
down.
You could crank out one more for us?
We got time for one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. Now,
As long as you don't got blisters on your fingers.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? You guys don't work me. It's easy.
too hard. Yeah, right. So now you host some of these camps that guys go to and hang out with guitars and stuff. What's that like as a counselor? Do you enjoy that?
I do enjoy it, man. I enjoy, you mean like the Rock and Roll Fantasy
Yeah,
Camp
rock
stuff?
and roll fantasy camp
The fantasy
stuff.
camps are great, man. We did one with Deep Purple not that long ago. And we, I'm one of the counselors, and then we have the special guests come in, and people show up to hang out with all the campers. I love doing it, man. I got to tell you, it's people that you see that just wanted to live their dream, and be able to experience playing with their heroes and playing on stage. Because what we do is after 4 days, they play at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
So they go on
Oh, I
stage.
thought you were like out in the woods and you were doing like an electric version of Kumbaya.
Like a summer camp, sit around
Like
the fire,
meatballs?
cooking s'mores.
Yeah, right.
No, it's
Yeah.
more like a shot of tequila and get on stage
Oh,
and rock
is it
and roll
really?
kind of
Oh,
thing.
excellent.
But it's I mean, it's not just like, at first when I signed up, I'm like, oh, this is just lawyers and doctors that have a lot of extra money
Yeah.
and want to hang out, people that have big bucks. But it's not that. It's everybody and anybody. And Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp is really a cool experience. I'm telling you, I've seen it change people's lives.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of stuff like that, are you going on some rock cruise in the near future
Yep,
too?
we're doing the Rock Legends cruise, which is coming up
There's
in
some
February.
amazing people on that
Huge
ship.
lineup. We have Sammy Hagar. We have Bad Company.
Oh, wow.
It's a massive lineup. It's sold out. I mean, you can't get on a waiting list. Cabins come up all the time. But I'm actually the music director for the All-Star Jam.
Are you really?
It hires me
Awesome.
to get the whole jam organized. So I'm going to get to play again with so many great people and organize the whole jam.
They've got to put that on video, though, right?
Yes, it's
At some
going to
point
be
somewhere.
filmed for
Right,
sure.
okay,
And
so we can see it that way.
but you know what? I got to say, this goes back to my experience with all these rock camps I've done. I've been the MD at some of the biggest camps, the Beatles camps, and at Yes, and all these different ones they did. And it gave me a lot of experience, man. I did a thing at Berkeley. We did a thing for addiction recovery. We had a big show with Warren Haynes at Berkeley. And
Oh man, he's
guys,
fun, isn't he?
He's an amazing guitar player, one of my favorites. But all the years I've been teaching music and just mentoring kids and stuff, I really feel like it's prepared me to handle all these rock stars.
Yeah.
You
Or
know what
less
I'm saying?
mature. Yeah, right.
Because you know what they need, you know what they want, and I'm like Dr. Feelgood. I just figure it out.
You're like a baseball
Right.
manager. It's managing egos. You're like a baseball manager,
It
right?
kind of is. You got to make sure you take care of people, and I like to lift people up, make them shine. You know what I mean, and find the thing that makes them feel comfortable. So
That's cool. It's just
I hope
another thing in your resume, right?
yes.
Awesome.
It's what keeps me going. It keeps me, there's so many things I do in the music business, whether I'm teaching. I do a lot of stuff for free because you have to, man. If you want to stay busy,
Yeah.
you do everything and anything.
Well, it's kind of true with the whole evolution of the record industry as well.
Yeah, right. Record sales are crazy. You don't sell the kind of records you used to sell anymore, but it's still great.
I advise anybody who's into Gary Hoey not only to show up live, but go to GaryHoey.com because your website really is cool and interactive.
Thank you.
A lot of good stuff there.
Thank you, man. And social media, hit me up. I read all my emails, Twitters, Facebooks, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
so.
send Gary food photos all the time, and he answers back. So
I love your email. I get your emails for your food stuff, and we make the pork chops that you had on there. We still make them every 3 weeks.
my man.
Seriously, man, he's like
Oh,
a
he is.
foodie.
Yeah,
he's a
he's
serious
a freak.
foodie. We steal your tricks a lot. Can I do a song off the new album?
Sure.
It's called Born to Love You.
All right, go ahead.
All right, 27 years for you
It's
guys.
my ode to food.
This is it, man. Here we go. Sorry. Whoa, feedback, baby.
Down the Mississippi way.
but not singing live. That was the fall, actually, singing. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. That was fantastic. I know. I'll be on stage with Gary coming up Friday night. That was outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Everybody out there, head out to Twin River on Friday night for a free show with Gary Hoey and his band. And also make sure you go to GaryHoey.com. Gary, thanks so much for coming by once again, man.
Oh, man, thank you guys.
I can't believe it's going to be Christmas now the next time
I know,
we see
right?
you.
I know, we're for Christmas, man. Ho. No, thank you guys. I always appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Cool, Gary.
HJY, Providence, 94. HJY.